The US government has been concealing the existence on this planet of alien life.
I would couch it as non-human intelligence, NHI, like we would like to say in our language.
Why do you say that? Why do you say NHI?
I don't want to necessarily denote origin. I don't think we have all the data to say, oh, they're coming from a certain location. And I couch it as somebody who studied physics where maybe they're coming from a different physical dimension as described in quantum mechanics. We know there's extra dimensions due to high energy particle collisions, etc. And there's a theoretical framework to explain that, yeah.
Let me cut to the quick though. You're saying there is an intelligent species engaging with this planet?
Yes, that's potentially extraterrestrial, yeah.
Boom.
If that is true, everything we know about everything, why we're here, who we are, could be completely flipped upside down. So if we look at David Grush as a whole, his credentials have been vetted and confirmed.
Yep.
He says he's not mentally ill, he's never had a psychotic episode, and he has nothing in his medical history that would cause him to say these things, right? He also says he was not a disgruntled employee. He simply believes that he's doing the public a service by disclosing these things, and he is not making anything up. He spent 4 years making sure he was not the subject of a disinformation campaign before he filed his whistleblower complaint, which is very important to remember. Because I think a lot of us want to jump to, this is a psyop, this guy is planted, and I still think there is a possibility for that. We can't completely rule that out because we don't know. Because maybe he is. Maybe he's just being fed all of this. Maybe all these high-ranking people that are coming to them are like,
part of
somebody
disclosure.
higher up was like, all right, he's going to be the guy that's going to go out and tell everybody this. We're going to feed him this information.
And
it's a
that
possibility.
very well might be the case, yeah.
We don't know. We'll have to just wait and see, I guess. So the interviewer, Ross, asks, why hasn't this leaked already? Things are leaked from the US government all the time via all these other different methods, WikiLeaks, Reality Winner, other people who've come forward. I mean, Dr. Greer has interviewed a number of whistleblowers on his and insiders who have worked in these programs for years. There's full-blown video interviews of it. We've talked about many of them over the years. And David responded that this has been leaking for decades, but sophisticated disinformation campaigns have done a good job covering the truth up. So that way, when people come forward with this info, people automatically believe they're tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists and loonies.
And again, I think people lean into accepting that they are tinfoil hat loonies because it's easier than believing everything we know about everything is bullshit.
Right. And that
so
would
it's easy
be
to convince people of something they want to believe, right?
Right. And that's what makes this so hard. David has also said that the US government has committed crimes to keep these secrets. He's even seen evidence that white-collar crime has been committed to do so. He's also heard that people have been murdered over the years to keep the secret, and that to me is no surprise. I've also heard that because we've been back engineering this technology, that this technology has been used in order to commit crimes such as drug trafficking, human trafficking even. And I think that's very interesting to consider because in many of those cases, in many cases we cover on this show, it just seems like some people just vanish and it's like, well, where do they go? There's no other reasonable human explanation for it. Is it possible there's some other multi-dimensional technology that the government or whatever these programs have that is taking people and causing them to disappear or using them for...
How many people have actually been murdered for trying to get this information out there? I always go back to Dr. Greer talking about how he was told if you say certain things or go to a certain level that there's a bullet with your name on it. And then I always go back to, I know it's like really in conspiracy land, but with JFK, I don't know, with everything we know about what he knew, what he was able to say.
Definitely a possibility.
All of this just makes so many things add up. So many things we talk about.
Well, the dots are starting to be connected, I feel like. And we're starting to get some of the context for those dots to really understand it on a larger level.
I want to get down to, if we can, some specifics, right? So at one point you had said that there has been harmful activity or aggressive activity. Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured. And the activity, and I got to
by UAPs or by people within the federal government?
both.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment, but at least the activity that I personally witnessed, and I have to be very careful here because they tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed myself and my wife was very disturbing.
Wow.
Yep.
Even his wife has seen,
Mm-hmm.
which he's suggesting that the government's committing crimes in these
Shocking.
programs for those that are
Government
working in
committing
these
crimes?
blacks programs, which goes back to your whole comment on there's a bullet with your name on it.
Mm-hmm. Come on, we all know.
And David goes on to say he's faced retaliation for coming forward with his claims himself.
Thank you all very much. Have you faced any retaliation or reprisals for any of your testimony or anything on these lines?
Yeah, I have to be careful what I say in detail because there is an open whistleblower reprisal investigation on my behalf, and I don't want to compromise that investigation by providing anything that may help provide somebody information. But it was very brutal and very unfortunate, some of the tactics they used to hurt me both professionally and personally, to be quite frank. Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. As they say, when you're over the target, that's when they do the most firing at you. Do you have any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes. Personally.
Have anyone been murdered that you would think that you know of or have heard of, I guess?
I have to be careful asking that question. I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authorities.
Maybe in a, if we could
So yes.
get it in
Holy
a
shit, man.
confidential area, SCIF, we could talk about that. But unfortunately, we were denied access to the SCIF, and that's very unfortunate in this scenario.
In the last couple of years, have you had incidences that have caused you to be in fear for your life for addressing these issues?
Yes, personally.
Of course.
Which makes sense why his wife witnessed stuff. So they came after him.
Yep. Of course they
Man,
did.
I hope
and he's probably still scared.
I hope he's careful, man. I really worry for his safety. I hope he's taking precautions.
I'll be really grateful for people like him that are willing
seriously.
to take that chance for the greater good.
Seriously.